Living with the Wuhan virus has been difficult. Dying with it, even more so. In Sri Lanka, pandemic deaths have triggered a massive controversy. The government insists on cremating all the dead, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, whatever be the religion. If you have died because of the Wuhan virus in Sri Lanka, you shall be cremated. That is the government's order. But Muslims and Christians bury their dead. They do not cremate. So government orders go against their religious beliefs. But why does Sri Lanka want to cremate everyone? Because the government apparently feels that bodies of Wuhan virus victims might contaminate the groundwater if they're buried. Is the fear legitimate? Why do other countries still bury their dead? What do global health agencies say about this? What do Sri Lankans say? Our cover story tonight tries to find all the answers. And we start from the beginning. This order has been in place since April this year. It is not new. The administration has been cremating all victims. So why is there outrage now? Because the latest victim was just 20 days old. 20 days. A newborn baby who died due to the Wuhan virus and was cremated despite the objections of his parents. He has become the face of this campaign. Baby Shaik is the youngest victim of the virus in Sri Lanka. Even before his family could process the devastating news of his death, the authorities were, quote-unquote, ready to hand over the baby's ashes to them. It's a very distressing story. At least 15 Muslims have been cremated in Sri Lanka. Their families say that the cremations were carried out against their will. There is anger against the government. Muslims in Sri Lanka are being denied a burial. What about Sri Lankan Muslims who die abroad? What's the government's policy for them? Colombo does not want their bodies to be flown back home. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has made a special request to the Maldives, a Muslim-majority neighbor. The Maldivian president's office has responded to the request. They are holding consultations to bury Sri Lankan Muslims in the Maldives. So they can be buried in the Maldives, but they must be cremated if they are in Sri Lanka. Why does the Lankan government insist on this? The order to cremate all came after influential Buddhist monks raised an alarm. They said burying Wuhan virus victims could contaminate groundwater in Sri Lanka. They said buried bodies could spread the virus. Is there any basis to this claim? None has been found in science. Activists have slammed the argument. Global health bodies have said victims can be buried or cremated. But the Lankan government has not paid heed to these voices. And earlier this month, it found support in the Supreme Court. Sri Lanka's highest court turned down all petitions against compulsory cremations. Emboldened by the Supreme Court's decision, the Sri Lankan government rejected demands from 19 Muslim families. Reports say they refused to claim the bodies because they wanted a burial and not a cremation. But the Sri Lankan Attorney General ordered the local authorities to go ahead with the cremations. The move has triggered public anger. Over the weekend, citizens reached the cremation center and they tied white ribbons to the gates of the cemetery that houses the crematorium. They were all removed on Monday. The protest then moved online, with several citizens claiming that the Rajapaksas are using the pandemic to marginalize the Muslims of Sri Lanka. One user on Twitter has claimed that Muslims are being cremated without tests or a positive report. Now, we've not been able to independently verify this, but we can tell you the outrage against the government is quite visible. Sri Lanka largely contained the first wave of the Wuhan virus cases. But now there's a second wave and the focus is back on the government's response to the pandemic. The Rajapaksas, known for ruthlessly crushing the civil war, are using the same military textbook to defeat the virus. Reports say officials from the military are being given prominence over experienced civil servants, even those who have a record in health services. Earlier this year, a report claimed that key decisions on the pandemic were communicated by Shavendra Silva, an army commander who is the head of Sri Lanka's National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak. Shavendra Silva was called the public face of the response. So here's the thing. While this pandemic needs a tough response and military precision in managing affairs. The enforced cremations without any scientific basis damage Colombo's record on the pandemic. There's no better way of putting it. This is the state targeting one community to appease politically influential monks. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. The world is one.